for a short stay. A short day, so I just adjusted levels on him. Tried to warn him, now I got a sick treble on him. While he built me and broke the mold, so it's no.
All right, guys. I have with me Bacon from StepDads. Thanks for joining
Hello,
me,
hello.
Bacon.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So first off, congratulations on the 2-0 against Subject to Change.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So how do you guys feel after that series?
Well, we kind of want a redemption on Braxis because that was a composition we ran, I believe it was last week on BOE,
Mm-hmm.
and it just looked awful, and we felt really bad about it,
And
and we had to
yeah,
take it again.
okay, that explains the draft there significantly more than I was like. This is a really odd draft for Braxis. Thing is, like, you guys executed it very well, and not a lot to demean from like how well you guys executed it. I think there was some definitely micro issues on the side of Subject to Change on how they handled what you were throwing at them.
Yeah. Not to take anything away from them, but they really didn't learn a lesson, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like the only way we were winning that game was winning fights on the point, and they had a pretty good macro comp for that map, but
Mhm.
they continued to take fights on the point, and we just continued to kill them.
Yeah, I mean, I was literally saying during the game, like, you can see the dreams mana falling. It's like, just let the fights drag out a little bit, and the dream runs out of mana. You poke them down, and then all of a sudden you can fight once again, because the sustain from Stukov is going to be, or should be, better. But as the end stats showed, were you guys surprised by how much more the dream actually healed up by the end of the game in comparison to Stukov?
Not necessarily. The way, like I said, that's kind of a comfort comp for us. Um, and we were pretty skilled on it, so we're kind of used to killing something quick enough so that the opposing healer doesn't exactly have a chance to react. And if he's not healing the person that's taking damage because they're dead, he's not gonna, pad any numbers on people who are already full health. So
That's
we're
true.
really the only ones taking damage.
That's definitely fair. You guys definitely were taking some damage from the dunks, as the numbers at the end of the game showed as well. But it didn't seem like they were felt, and largely because, like you pointed out, even though you were taking damage, you would be almost insta-gibbing one of their members. So it ultimately was kind of just padding damage numbers there.
Yeah, and double support kind of helps. I think Toronto is one of the most overpowered heroes in the game.
Ooh.
And I'm really comfortable on it. And nobody's gonna ban it. I mean, go ahead. Let's just take it away, sure.
Yeah, that'd be actually one of the funniest bands. But it'd also be a great respect band for you.
I mean, I suppose, but I mean, I'll take the Phoenix or something else that should have been banned over top of it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter to me.
So, like you were saying, this is a comp you're comfortable with, that you you unfortunately didn't execute well in on a previous game. Were you guys happy with how you executed this time, though?
Yeah. We had to alter some builds and stuff to fit the game plan because it's usually slide a target, kill a target, but it's kind of hard to kill Johanna, and it's
Yeah.
kind of hard to get past Johanna and kill their backline when they're so backline.
Yep.
So it's hard to get to those super range heroes. So I kind of had to alter my build a little bit to focus on Johanna better, which is not something I would normally do. But it went really well, really, really well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you. I was saying I don't think you get a much better game than pointing out you had 22 kills, 0 deaths, and every fort still standing by the end of the game. That's pretty much like, yeah, we've dominated the game. I don't think you can get much more of a domination scenario than that. Maybe, winning the game in like 9 minutes or something, but outside of that, the long 18 minutes of domination.
Yeah, it feels good, and it's something that has a lasting effect. Like going into game two after a game like that is both really comfortable for us and gives us some energy, and it's probably a little bit demoralizing to lose to a Tyrande on a wave clear map.
Yeah. Now, obviously, game two wasn't far from perfect, but you guys looked almost as good. I mean, you still walked away with the game having significant amounts of kills, having every fort still standing once again. So, in game two, were you still happy with the performance? Are there things you're like, damn, we made some like really dumb mistakes here that we'll need to tighten up on, or was it just more like you guys felt a little overconfident from the first game?
The issue with that was that we didn't really know how to react to it. We have never seen a triple warrior Stitches, Murd, Sonya, Li Ming style. We
Mhm.
weren't exactly what their game plan was. We weren't sure what their game plan was. And so, as a short range hero like Jaina, who kind of has to get up close and personal, I
Yeah.
don't know who I'm going to kill in that scenario.
You got to poke them all to death. That's pretty much what it comes down to.
Yeah, and I got 1v1 with Li Ming where I kind of screwed it up. She did a really good job of blinking out of my initial root combo,
Yep.
and I ice blocked the missiles, but I canceled it too early, and I think they all still hit me. And
Yeah.
then I got leapt on by Sonya after I killed her, which felt real bad.
Well, I guess at the very least you won the 1v1. You can be like, come at me, bro. I already got it. So even though you did walk away taking a ton of damage, then got leapt on by Sonya and died, ultimately the 1v1s is all that matters, really, in a
Oh
game.
yeah, you got to beat a Li Ming in a 1v1. She already has enough tools to win them, so beating her feels awesome.
Yeah, it was definitely an odd comp. I've definitely have ran a comp like that, but we're talking like a year and a half to 2 years ago. That kind of comp when Lucio was considered like the meta. So yeah, that style of comp is very odd. I'd say by today's standard, uh, but you guys obviously dealt with it pretty well. Was that part of the reason you guys opted for Leo? Was just how many high HP health pools?
Uh, yeah. Another option for the Leo was that um he can just gorge Stitches. Or
Mhm.
no, he can entomb Stitches when Stitches gorges. So it kind of, cuts that part out. We ended up not going gorge, um, simply because we kind of felt like we needed the little bit of extra damage and clear. And instead of just trying to entomb the gorge, we felt like we could kind of survive it because White Mane is busted and should be banned in every single game.
Yeah, obviously, White Mane was doing a hell of a good job keeping you guys up. That and she dropped some DPS. She has a root eventually, and yeah, like good luck killing her.
I hate playing against that hero. I don't I don't want to lie. I no, please don't pick it.
I thought they were going to kind of like all in, just try to do the overrun style, and I was surprised Putrid Bile wasn't the pick there because if Stitches had it, he could run and slow everyone down in the back line versus where it seemed like their team fight was all over the place. You had Sonya leaping into the back, which I felt was really the only way for them to win those team fights was to get into the back line, since there's obviously warriors to run at you versus your own two, and without the entomb, it becomes much easier to run past.
Yeah, I mean their comp. I look at their comp and it makes quite a bit of sense. Because you kind of have Li Ming, she's good at poking. You have Murden, who's got Avatar. You have Malfurion, who's got Trank. But then you've got um Sonya's Leap and Stitch's Gorge, which are kind of like insta burst
Mhm.
ultimates, where they're trying to get one kill and snowball the fight. But the other three heroes are not like insta kill heroes.
Yeah,
So I feel like if they would have went like something like Bile and then Wrath and push for a very long sustaining fight, especially against something like a Jaina and a Diablo, they could overrun us in time if they could just keep us there.
yeah. I mean, they even opted for the tranquility. So like, there's a lot of like, I feel miscommunication in terms of like what their goal for their comp was, which helped obviously you guys win. If they have Twilight Dream with a Gorge and a Leap, that makes significantly more sense to blow someone up than Tranquility with a Gorge
Yeah. And yeah, it wasn't something we prepared for, obviously, and something we kind of had to work with on the fly, which is why we had the deaths and why it just looked a little bit more sloppy on our end. It's just because we didn't figure it out until about second or third Punisher.
That makes sense. So, what changes, if any, have you guys made from previous round or the first 2 weeks of NGS into this second round based off of your previous matches and all?
Um, well, I don't like to think we really changed all that much.
Hmm?
We just kind of tightened up and started executing. We got a little greedy and we forced some stuff in the previous phase in the match we lost, and now we just push our macro advantages a lot more.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely seemed like you guys knew when to push in and when to just, take a chill pill and relax until you get
Yeah,
your next advantage.
that showed a lot in Braxis, I think, when on multiple occasions they would prematurely bunker, and then on top of the bunker, Raynor would drop Hyperion, and then we
Mhm.
just at that point the call is just to walk out. We wait for those, the bunker to be out of the way, and then the 100-second cooldown Hyperion to just dissipate, and then we take our quick burst fight and whatever's available after that.
Yeah. I mean, definitely it looked like you guys knew exactly how to beat that. So before we go, I'd like to give you the floor to give any shout outs that you'd like to make.
Um, Shout out to Modeki, the best sub in the world. He's not for sale. Um, Shout out to Valise for scheduling all the matches and going above and beyond. Shout out to Adam for drafting. Shout out to Dream for being able to play every support like an assassin. And shout out to Bid for feeding.
All right, guys. Well, we've had Bacon from StepDads on, and once again, congratulations and thanks for the time in the interview. And best of luck in the rest of the NGS series if I don't get to catch you again this season.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
No problem. Enjoy the rest of your night.
You too.
All right, guys. So that's going to be it for tonight. We didn't have multiple games this evening. It seems like this week is going to be a slow week across the board for NGS. I have 2 matches set up for tomorrow, maybe, or do I have 1 match? I'm going to pull that up right now. All right, tomorrow we got 2 matches, 6:30 p.m. Pacific time and 8 p.m. Pacific time. It'll be Bad Manners versus Potato Esports and 10 Armor versus Make 7 Up Yours. On Wednesday, we got at 6 p.m. Off-Brand Cereal versus the Bonzo Brothers, and I may pick up another one as well, as there is definitely time between 8 o'clock and one of the 6:30 games to actually do that. Now, thanks for joining me this evening. But before we go, we got the replays, and then I'll kick you over to anyone who's still casting. And if there is no one casting, I'll kick you on over to, well, someone I watch. So hopefully you don't mind my choice. And yeah, thanks again for joining me. If you have any feedback, please let me know. I've gotten some like really positive things told to me or in the past week or last week, and yeah, it's definitely big morale boost to spending several hours a day doing casting in comparison to going and spending it playing or sleeping or working or anything else. So thanks again, guys, for sticking around with me. You can catch me on Twitter as well if you want to know when I'm going live, or you can click the follow button. You can even subscribe. But even more than that, come back to watch other casts. Like I don't really care about follow counts. What I care about is body counts more than follow counts. Casting to a wall or myself is not fun. Casting to all of you is what makes this fun. And hopefully, uh, hopefully I keep getting better, and hopefully the casts keep getting better at the same time. And that makes them more entertaining for you all. And if they're not, well, please let me know what you want me to do or would like me to do. Because can't make everything happen. I'm not a genie, can't grant all wishes. But I'll try to grant your wish nonetheless. So thanks again, guys. And I'm going to kick it over to the highlight reel and then over to someone else who's going to still be streaming.